Honestly, decentralized derivatives are the future. I predict that within the next 2 to 3 years, these decentralized platforms will overtake their centralized counterparts in terms of numbers of traders using them. Well, for crypto assets at least. I also think that projects building in this niche could be the next 100x opportunity, just like we saw other niches absolutely rocket before. Well, there is a new player in this space I want to bring to your attention called SynFutures. And with full disclosure, this is a sponsored video, but they are a decentralized derivatives platform that you can trade on right now. In the rest of this video, I'll walk you through what makes them special, what you gotta know about their token, and how to trade using their platform. If that sounds up your alley, then strap in my friend and let's roll the intro. Of course, the easiest way to trade futures is to do it on a centralized exchange like Binance or Kraken. But that may not even be possible for many of us because those platforms have been bowing down to regulators and restricting their products for many countries around the world. Like you see Binance restricting their products for Singapore, Australia, and South Africa. And even Kraken got fined by the CFTC for offering similar products. But here's the thing, they are centralized platforms, so they have to comply. Decentralized platforms, on the other hand, are much more resilient, and you can trade on them anywhere in the world with just your MetaMask wallet. That's why I think these new platforms like SynFutures are so clutch, and I think their market caps one day may rival their centralized counterparts. I mean, Uniswap has already paved the way by handling comparable amounts of volume and growing to a comparable market cap as many of its centralized counterparts. So I think it's a no-brainer that these decentralized derivative platforms like SynFutures are the next ones to dominate. Now, I know some of y'all are itching to invest and buy their token.
Shut up and take my money!
But I have some good news and bad news for you. Bad news is that their token is not out yet. But good news is that it's coming soon, and most likely they will do an airdrop to people who have traded on their platform before. This has not been announced officially, by the way, but I think it's super likely to happen since we saw so many other platforms like Uniswap and DYDX do the same before. And this potential airdrop is just one of many reasons why you should try out their platform. For all my active traders here, let's now dive in to see what they're all about and how you can use them to trade futures, shall we? Okay, so on the highest level, SynFutures is a decentralized futures trading platform. This means you can trade with your own wallet and they don't hold your funds on their platform. They also let you trade futures for any arbitrary ERC20 token with any contract expiration date that you choose. And they let you use up to 20x leverage going either long or short on the token you want. There's also liquidity providers and auto liquidators and a lot more details, but I don't want to go into all that right now. Why don't I just show you instead of tell you how it works?
Alright, so here is the main view of their trading platform. First thing you gotta do is click on Connect Wallet on the top right and sign in with your MetaMask wallet. It's pretty simple. Boom, we're done. And then you select the network you want to trade on, Ethereum, Polygon, BSC, or Arbitrum. I recommend Polygon for now because it has the most available trading pairs currently. Now you go to this base asset dropdown and you select the asset you want to long or short. And then for the quote asset, you select one of the options available in the dropdown. So I chose Matic USDC. This quote asset is actually the asset you'll be depositing to enter one of these future positions. And then you click on maturity and select the available dates. Now that everything is selected, you can go to the bottom section. And let's say I want to long 100 Matic with USDC as my quote pair. But before you can click on trade, you need to deposit below. And so the required amount you want to deposit for USDC depends on the leverage you want to take. So it's less USDC to deposit if you want to take more leverage with more risk. You can click on any of these numbers on the right side and it will fill it in for you like you see here. And then you click on deposit and go through the process with your MetaMask to deposit that amount of USDC into the smart contract. After that's done, you can click on trade to open your long Matic position. And that's it. But when you want to close your position, there's two main ways to do so. You can either wait for this maturity date to pass and let the contract settle. Then you can go to this account tab up top and then it will show up down here in my positions. And then you can use the available operations on this rightmost column to close your position. Or if we go back to this trade thing, last time we went long 100 Matic. So now you can just switch to short and then click on trade to kind of close the position. But just a heads up, after you do that, you need to click on manage margin here, and then you can choose the amount of USDC to withdraw. Just a heads up though, you may not be able to withdraw the full amount until the settlement period is over. Well, that's pretty much it. See how simple it is to trade using SynFutures? But you're probably wondering, where are all the available assets? Because in the drop-down menus, we barely see any options, right? That's because there's still a new platform in beta. They need more liquidity pools with enough capital in them for there to be more options that show up here. But the awesome part is that you or some crypto project, for example, could instantiate these pools and markets by yourself if you wanted to. Like you can spin up a new market that you and other people can trade futures for. To do that, you just click on this pool tab up top and then click on the create pool button. For that, you click on this base asset dropdown and you can choose any of the available ones. You can also click on more to add the token address for any ERC20 token you want. And then you choose a quote asset out of these four that are offered, and then a maturity date like you see here. And then finally, you just execute the MetaMask transaction to instantiate the pool. But here's the thing though, even if you do that, it's not going to show up on this main dropdown and these options until it has enough liquidity so that the slippage won't be too large for any traders who are interested, right? To add more liquidity, you can go back here and click on this add liquidity button, and then you choose the pair of assets you want to add liquidity for and the maturity date of the pool, for example. And this is much simpler than Uniswap, where you have to deposit both assets to the pool as an LP. So in this case, you would have to deposit in both Matic and USDC. In this case, you can just deposit one asset, which is USDC, and then let's say 1,000. And then what they do is they open a synthetic long and a synthetic short position for the base asset, in this case Matic, for you, right? So you're only depositing USDC, you're not depositing Matic. But they also give you the option to change the leverage ratio for the hedge position. So if you keep it at a 1x leverage, then it's a neutral position and you don't have to worry about maintaining this. But if you up the leverage like you see here, then it requires less capital from your end, but you may need to maintain it if the price moves in the opposite direction for you. Now you'll also receive LP tokens, as you see down here, for adding liquidity. But you can't do anything crazy like yield farm or whatever with it, but you do get back your liquidity and your cut of the fees that your pool earned when you send back your LP tokens. And when the maturity date for your selected pool you're adding liquidity to ends, then you can see the pools on this page. It says no record right now, but it's going to appear here and you can manage it and close it straight from the operations column. By the way, if any of this is confusing or unclear for you, then you should definitely go check out their FAQ section up here because it's super in-depth and it'll cover everything that you can think of, right? Like tutorials, specs, parameters, and a ton of stuff in the FAQ section. I think in general though, for people who are familiar with futures, this whole thing should be super simple for you to get started and just play around and use this app.
By the way, if you're curious at all about this platform, now is the perfect time to try it out. Besides potentially qualifying for their airdrop, there are so many other incentive programs that they are currently running, like their trading competition. This is all about the volume you trade, but if you can get into any of these 4 tiers by November 15th, you can get an exclusive NFT to show off. They also have an ambassador program in which you can get cash rewards for helping spread the word about them. They are organizing this program into different missions, and rewards are distributed proportional to your contribution. Like their very first mission is just following them on social media, retweeting them, and joining their Discord/Telegram. And 10 lucky people who participate can get $100 each. More to come for this, so I'll leave you links down below that you definitely should check out. Now, something super important I have not mentioned yet is their legitimacy and credibility. Well, I've met their team and they are super transparent and have a relevant background as well. They are definitely not anonymous. You can watch their online meetup events, which are recorded and uploaded to their YouTube channel, like their Future X virtual meetups, where they chat with other well-known teams in the DeFi world. And they are also backed by some of the top funds in the crypto space, like Polychain, Pantera, Dragonfly, and much more. They're definitely super legit, and I think they will accomplish the big goals that they have set out for. It's actually a pretty exciting time for SynFutures because they have their version 2 platform coming out real soon. And also their NFT Futures product, which kind of has a Tinder style swiping interface. But you can actually bet against various NFTs if you think they are too frothy and will drop in price soon. They're basically bringing their underlying futures trading technology to the NFT space as well. Let me know what you think about all this though, and if you have any questions, I'll definitely leave all the important links you should check out down below. Anyways, I'm Kevin from Coinsider. I can't wait to see you on the next one, and cheers!